My name is Bronwyn Naylor. My disciplinary background is law and criminology. I've been really interested in the criminal law issues of when you sentence people for committing a crime, what happens after that? Like when you sentence them to prison, what happens when they go to prison? So that raised some legal issues, some human rights issues in particular, but also with my criminology interests, I was really interested in the outcomes. Why do we punish people at all? Why do we punish people by sending them to prison? And when we send them to prison, what happens? Like, what are the conditions in prison? What do we think prisons are going to do? What actually happens in prisons? So one of the sets of issues that came out of that has been the issue around the fact that we recognise there are lots of abuses in prisons, and also that prisons in themselves generally mean that people come out worse than they went in. So there are real negatives about using prison. So it seems to be an area that absolutely necessitates research on the use of prisons. So I've done a lot of work in relation to the use of imprisonment in Australia and other countries. If we look at imprisonment rates, which is the rate per 100,000 in population, the rough figures currently would be the US at one level, which is maybe around 700 people per 100,000, Australia, which is around 130 per 100,000, and the Scandinavian countries, which is around 60 or 70 per 100,000. And there's no suggestion that they have significantly higher or lower crime rates. It's an actual political choice as to whether you use imprisonment as a form of punishment. And then when you do imprison, what you do when you put people in prison. There's always going to be the risk of abuses and of human rights violations. So it may be prison conditions, so it just may be that the resourcing isn't there to provide appropriate medical services. Looking around the world, it can include simply having very large numbers of people having to be kept in small cells with very poor physical conditions. It can also be about the power relations, that in prisons, as in anywhere, where there's a power imbalance, the likelihood is that some people will abuse that power.